top module with the same tool, an Allen wrench. And there's only 4 of them. The drum you just lift straight up and out. You'll notice one side of the drum's a lot longer without any slots on it. That always goes over the side where the connecting rod and the drive for the blades will be. Remove the top plastic black blade cover by removing the 4 Allen head bolts on top. They're never tightened down real hard, so sometimes they'll just come right off with your fingers. Sometimes you'll need to use the Allen tool that's supplied with your machine. So you grab the blade cover from both ends and lift it straight up. Leave the bolts in and just push it forward on the front of the machine. Then there's a small connecting rod in between 2 pins from the blade to the blade drive. Then you lift the blade, the top blade with the slots in, straight up and out. And carefully grab that other blade and lift it straight up over the pins. Now you can clean these very easily. These aren't dirty, but when they are dirty, there's going to be a lot of gunk built up on them. So the easiest way to clean these is, again, a utility knife. Scrape off the flat side to get the majority of the material off. And then using a little wire brush, brass is best, like an old welding brush, go pull down between the teeth, and that's the fastest way to clean these shark tooth teeth. So once you've cleaned off the blades, you want to clean the flat section where the pins are a little bit, just to make sure there's no buildup under that. Then put the lower blade in with the bevels facing down away from you so that it's straight and flat on top. Make sure you push down good and hard on the blade to make sure it's all the way down into its pocket. Spray a little of the non-solvent spray lubricant on top of the blade. Drop the top blade down on top of it with the slots in it. Move it back and forth just to make sure it's free. Lubricate the 2 pins and put your connecting rod back on top. You can connect it, just move the blade a little bit until it lines up with the pin on the drive unit. Once you've got that back in position, maybe just a little bit more lubricant on top of the blade, of the upper blade. And then maybe a quick cleanup with just a little bit of a rag just to get some of the excess oil off. Put the plastic blade cover back in position. Simply line the holes back up where they were. Make sure it's in the same position you put it in. Finger tighten all of the bolts down, and then you can use your Allen wrench to bring them down to just barely compressing that washer. You do not want to tighten it too much. Once you've done this, you're going to be able to final adjust this thing once you can turn it on. Keep your fingers away from it, turn it on, and just using your wrench, tighten each bolt until you hear it start to quiet up a little bit. And then if it starts to make too much noise, back that bolt off a hair, and that's where it should go. Do it to all 4 bolts, and you're ready to put your drum back in position. Make sure you put the drum back in position so that it's in the right side. The upper module has a direction that it goes on also, and you'll see that there'll be some sort of a mark on the front of it, a silver mark or 3 grooves that'll let you know which side goes to which side. Once you get that back on, tighten up the 4 Allen head bolts that hold it in position. Never tighten these too much, just barely enough to compress the rubber on the sealing washer down below. That's all you need. If you tighten it too much, you'll be pushing too much pressure down on top of your drum. So once you've got this top back on, this machine is pretty much ready to go. Remember to run, if it slips, if it doesn't turn right away, if the drum isn't turning when you turn it back on, you've got the machine too wet, and you need to give it a little time for the belts to dry out and everything else to dry out a little bit. Or you've managed to get too much oil onto your O-rings or someplace. You just got to clean it up with a little alcohol, let it dry a little bit. Next time you turn it on, it'll start turning just fine. Other than that, remember, it runs a lot better when you run it with the top plastic cover on. I know it's nice to watch everything going through it, but it works better with the cover in position. So we hope you like this machine. It's new and we're proud of it.